Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 136 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and y'all came a little faster than I was ready. So you can tell this is live. So
it's 135.
135. Well, it's amazing. These 130s I'm getting stuck in.
I know.
They keep coming and keep coming and
kind
keep
of
coming.
shows you what today's show is going to be like. So just stay with us.
Hey, stay with us. At least it's not 100 degrees. We were just talking about how in Oklahoma and down in West Texas, it's already 100. I think it's 103 to 108 in Oklahoma right now, which sounds completely miserable given how humid we are today.
Wow. Yeah. I got out of the car in the parking garage and my glasses instantly fogged up in the garage today. So,
it is one of those days.
The heat is definitely back.
It is. And, you know, it's interesting because summer's kicked off and there's lots of things going on. I'm not into rodeo, but my brother's youngest is, and I wish I had thought to send this to you, but we could have rolled him bulldogging. Unfortunately, in the state finals in Abilene this morning, the actual steer stood up on him, basically came to a stop, and he ran into it. And it was a pretty big accident, but he is okay right now. So unfortunately, he is not going to proceed to the short go, which would have been this weekend, and I was really excited about getting to see him. Unfortunately, didn't make it in the bulldogging, and his heeler didn't make it when they were team roping. So I think they're going to stay for a high stakes jackpot tonight, if his eye is okay. Otherwise, it looks like that's a wrap. Let summer begin.
You start talking about rodeo and your country comes out.
You know what? I bet it does a little bit. So you know what? I will send the video next week, and we'll start off with that so y'all all can weigh in and see what I'm talking about. But
that sounds great.
Speaking of messes, how's the market?
You know, it's still really interesting right now. It's still just crazy hot.
It is. Hot. And I think in the second half, we're going to talk about myths about this market. And I think it's really important to kind of decipher what is and what isn't a truth, and kind of get to the bottom of it, because I think the more information we have, the better decisions we can make.
Yeah. And, you know, next week we're going to have, I just confirmed Jeremy's going to come on the show next week and talk to us about how to make your offer look the best when you've got financing involved.
Excellent.
We've talked about how much cash there is in the market right now, and it is really hard for a seller to evaluate a contract that's got financing involved equally with a cash contract. I mean, even if the cash contract isn't at the same price, it's hard for them to.
Now, don't give away all of part two of the show.
Oh, sorry.
He's getting right into it. Just be sure to tell Jeremy, though, that it is a cowboy-themed second segment, and that he'll need to dress appropriately and don the according accent. Okay. So we'll see how he does.
Fringe.
Midnight cowboy. Well, we've got an exciting market. We've got good financing still out in the place. Inventory is kind of doing its thing.
It is. You know, it's funny. I looked at the last 7 days, and there are as many homes coming on the market as there are going under contract. The way I saw it was the ones that came back on the market added to the new listings were equivalent to those that were going under active option contract.
Okay.
You know, almost everything goes to active option first. Not everything does. Sometimes it goes right to contingent, or some people put them even right to pending if they've got a really solid deal. But
because you're allowed to.
Yes, you are. But I think our market is kind of neutral in terms of inventory right now.
So it's kind of like going to a club right now, it's one in, one out. So I wish we would say we were at capacity. We're definitely not at capacity, but it is feeling like a one in, one out right now.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we've got great houses.
We do. We have two really cool houses.
What's the first one?
The first one is 2710 North Carroll Avenue, and this is an amazing, amazing home in one of the hottest areas of Dallas, I think.
I loved the area. I used to live over here around the corner from that off of Manette. I used to always say that this was epicenter adjacent, meaning it was easy to get to whether it was lower Greenville, if you wanted to get into Knox Henderson is around the corner. And a lot has actually happened both on Knox and Henderson. And then if you just wanted to step over to West Village, this is a great place. New construction is coming up left and right. I always joke and say there's a runaway bulldozer in the neighborhood. We drove around just the other day as we were touring this house and saw even more. So it is a great thing that's happening. 75, as you can see, is just around the corner. You get Knox, Henderson, crossing over. You can go into downtown quite easily and get over to Love Field even easier.
And that is right. This is almost directly across the street from where they're building that new development that is going to compete with, I say compete with it, and it's really just, it's going to be of the ilk of West Village.
Yeah, it'll probably be called East Village when they get it all wrapped
Probably
up.
will, yeah. And then they've got an Italy that's going to be in there, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a long time ago.
Oh,
that was
was it?
before North Park. That's because remember I got so excited about that because I was like, I don't need a kitchen anymore if I've got Italy that's coming right beside me. But never mind.
Yeah,
Didn't
sorry
get it.
about that.
Yeah, way to go.
But if you want to go to Italy, it's at North Park now.
It is. We just went. It's amazing. So let's take a look at this house because this is a unique one. It is a 4-bedroom, 4 full to half, 3-car garage. Modern. This is one of the first homes in the neighborhood, and they did a bang-up job on this home.
They really did. This was built in 2015, and it was probably the lone new construction there for a long time.
A long time. It was ahead.
But these people planned this home so well. I mean, you have this really great entryway that you walk into. The floors are all solid surface on the first floor. All of the bedrooms are down. You have this really oversized 2-car garage on the front, and then this is one of the downstairs bedrooms.
Yeah.
And they're huge.
Yeah, all 3 bedrooms, guest bedrooms, as I should say, are downstairs, and they're all en suite. And as you can see, they have some amazing height, space, and actual views. So you're not in a little bitty space, but the great thing is they're really quiet in here as well.
And this is the little workout room that also has the bath en suite. Really a great sized room. This doesn't really, I mean, you could have plenty of equipment in this room and not struggle for space at all.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in a little bit different order. We're going to jump up to the 2nd floor now, and this is where the master is. And this is a configuration that we hadn't seen before, but we really thought it was smart and well done. As you can see here, great space, and opens up to an amazing bathroom.
Huge bathroom. This is, I think we saw one of the largest showers that I'd ever seen last week. I think this one rivals that one.
And the way that they laid it out is really amazing. There's so much space, enough space, in fact, that you get a sauna here as well. We didn't get photos of both of the closets, but the closet that you can just sneak right there and see is enormous. And this is actually the smaller closet of the two, if you can imagine that.
Wonderful space. I like that they did the windows in the closets because it still gives the closet lots of natural light. Here's the other closet.
Oh yeah, and so you can see here you've got a wall full of dressers, and you have a really great changing mirror as well.
And this is one of the unique features of it. This home has an elevator.
Yeah, it is a great elevator. This is on the 3rd floor. So up on the 3rd floor is where everything becomes the entertaining space. So now we have this wonderful open concept, great modern wall right here that houses both storage, shelving, and the fireplace.
And this does not lack for living space, just different areas of to relax and unwind. You've got the outdoor space there. You've got this really oversized living room space. You have bar space there for 5 or 6. I think you've actually got room for 6 there.
At least.
Then that's the bar to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you have your own other bar that you have seating at also.
And so you can see here you've got top of the line appliances there, double stacked ovens, Milton Miele coffee maker, microwave, The cabinets go all the way to the ceiling. They've done a really great job with the vent work. As you can see here, it's not the typical returns or ducts. Everything is just at that next level that we're seeing, and it just does such a good job of giving you this flow. Almost feels like a lobby of a very nice hotel room. Great views, and as you can see here, you have a small seating area that is adjacent to both the bar that you can see there with the natural wood edging and also the kitchen. So lots of flexibility.
Yeah, and I love this bar space. They really did this well because they have the wine rack above, so you keep your really expensive wine up there out of people's reach.
The number ones.
So yeah, and then you have the wine cooler down below that you've got space to put everything in. And they've got this huge dining room that seats 12.
Easy, and
Yeah.
you, like double ends as they have it set up, which is very unique. And you can see more from this angle how this wall provides a separation, but yet it also is still open and it has that nice flow. One of the great things about this is the outdoor space.
Wonderful outdoor space, and these are the doors on these collapse into that wall, so you've got that cantilevered. It's not cantilevered. What is it?
You're right.
The door that disappears is what you got, and you've got some really good covered space there, but you've also got some uncovered space. One of the cool things that we noticed they did was they have a rod across the inside on the ceiling where you can add draperies there if you want.
Yep. So this is 2710 North Carroll Avenue. It is 4-bedroom, 4 full, 2 half baths, and it is a 3-car garage built in 5841 square feet, and it comes in at 1.395, and that brings us in at 238.83 a square foot. And we want to say thank you so much to Rob Elmore for letting us feature this home. It is amazing.
That really is there was so much more to talk about in that home.
It's so much.
Yeah.
It is as much as we can do in about 4 minutes in this home isn't quite justice. So to make it where you get all of the information and all the pictures, there'll be a link in the comments. Just click on that. It'll take you directly to it. If this is something you want to see, let us know. We can make it happen. If you want to see what else is available in this neighborhood, because there is a lot, let us know. We'll be also happy to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's our next property?
Next one is going to be our listing.
Yes.
And this is going to be 2441 Thatcher Drive. And this is similar area. We just go a little further north. Still going to be on the east side of 75. So it still has that vibe, epicenter adjacent, but yet this is a little closer. Capitol is right around there. If you're familiar with that street, it's a good cross street that connects both Henderson and Fitzhugh, which is really excellent and has up and coming. Lots of restaurants in and around this area. Walking is very prevalent in this area, both in the evenings and just for going out for dinner or coffee in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, this has so much to do within 2 or 3 blocks of it. It's just amazing. And these were new construction that were built, is it 5 years ago?
Yeah,
I think
about
5
that.
years ago. And they really did an amazing job with this community. It's a small community that only has one entrance into it, but it has units that are on the front, on the back, and on the side. And this unit is back in the corner. There's no other one that's got this type of outdoor space. And it's just, living here would just be a dream.
It is. It's really amazing. And they've just opened Joe Leo just around the corner for some amazing Tex-Mex. I believe it's one of Kyle Noonan's new creations. So this would be a great place. If you want to go have a margarita, call Jeff or I, and we'll be happy to meet you there.
Happy to.
All right, so let's get inside of this place.
Okay, so this, as I was saying, was a really cool corner unit with lots of outdoor space that is unlike any other unit in the complex. I love the style that they chose to build this with the materials, because you've got the siding, you've also got the corrugated tin on the outside. Gives a real industrial feel to it, but it's still very well polished. Walk in, you've got a nice foyer here. Many of the townhomes anymore, you don't really walk into anything other than the stairwell.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one's definitely got room to have the table there to throw your keys down. This is the downstairs bedroom that looks out onto the private space there. This owner uses this as the office. It's still got great light, has an ensuite bath, and the 2-car garage is on this level as well.
Yep. And so here we're going to help you walk through. So up the stairs will take you to the second floor. And as you can see here, no carpet, which is really great. So it's painted rise over run. And that takes you into the pantry there, which is behind that door on the left, and a really great open dining room. Now, what I like about the way this house was designed is that there's not a ton of space that is designated to that dining room, because what they've done is they've focused on the kitchen and the living to make this more of a house of entertainment. And as you can see, they've done some really interesting placements and size of the windows there to give you both natural light, but also to really give you that privacy that you want when you're living in a complex of townhomes.
And one of the things that we tend to see in communities that that a lot of people are turned off by is when the windows all match up with one another.
I hate it.
And this community really did a great job in window placement among all of the units, so you don't have that.
Yeah, and so what we look back, we're going to look back from standing against the wall where the TV was, looking back into the living room, and you can see how it cascades right into that open kitchen right there. And as you can see from the other corner, we have really great windows. The blinds there are motorized, which is really great, and can be controlled from your app. This is a little step out balcony that's greater than a true step out, because I believe it's 3 to 4 feet wide and is close to 12 feet in length. It also has turf grass, which is a really great extra, both from a pet perspective, but also just to kind of create that more easy living space. As you can see here, they've enjoyed it with both their grill and have both set out the table and chairs and a couple little plants. So a little more privacy, a little more get out from being inside the house to kind of stretch out during some of these more lockdown times.
And that is a church that you were seeing out that patio. And I live right behind the church, and the churches make the best neighbors.
Behind the cemetery.
Well, that's true.
So here's the kitchen, and you can see here it's got everything you need: oven, stove, gas, electric cooktop, built-in microwave, side-by-side oven, refrigerator, and it's done in quartz as well. So what we were looking for is clean and bright, which really speaks to today's buyers. And this is one of those homes that just kind of keeps hitting everything. As you can see, the wood floors, not quite a high stain, not matte, so it really works out great.
And we're going to zip up to the third floor. This is the guest room on the third floor. Again, corner windows, which give you really great natural light. These corner windows are going to be facing east and south, so you've got really great morning sun coming in. You have an ensuite bath. I love the tile that they chose in these. They have a really interesting feel that you don't get with normal subway tile.
Absolutely. And then here we wanted to show this shop because everybody wants to know where the washer and dryer is. Hate it when it's separated from the master. So there on the left-hand side, full-size washer and dryer, stackable. I believe there's a little bit of storage as well in there. And then we go into a really large master. So you can see here we've got a king-size bed, and we have ample room to spare. There's really great light as well in this. It's on the side out of the picture there on the left-hand side. And you can see he's got both dressers on either with a large TV.
And this is the master bath, double sink, large oversized vanity, has the natural light coming in on the side, and they're under the mirror.
Yeah.
And then huge closet. I don't know if we get to see that or not.
We're not going to get to see that.
We don't, but it's a huge walk-in closet. Again, no carpet on this floor. Oversized shower. It's just quartz countertops.
And you see here you've got really great ceiling height as well. And when we come back to the first floor, this developer did a really interesting thing. So as you can see here, we wanted to point out that this is the garage, because you can see the car there on the left-hand side and how it opens it up to this outdoor space. And turf grass, we talked about it 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it's great.
And it goes all the way around on this one. So you've really got three spaces of outdoor space here. You've got this extra living space that is just a wonderful focal point. You do have the garage front on it, so you've got the security of being able to back in and close the garage door and still have that separation. I imagine that, as neighbors in the community get to know one another and come out, the garage door comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And that becomes, an extra living space. You've got room for the Texas cornhole back here. And, if you're standing around drinking beer with your buddies, what else are you going to do?
This is the place. And the thing that's so interesting is because, as we've talked about over and over, this is a corner unit. So we're continually wrapping around. The front door is just on the other side of that gate in the left-hand corner of the picture. But we get extra windows, we get less neighbors, and we get more light.
So 2441 Thatcher Drive is a 3-bedroom, 3 full bath and a half bath. 2-car garage built in 2014, right at 2,000 square feet. And this is priced at $540,000 and is a fantastic deal for the quality, the style, the size, the location. You can't beat this one.
And we will have it open on Sunday from 1 to 3. So you can click on the link, or better yet, swing on by. Come say hi.
And with that, we'll be right back.
There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223.
And welcome back to the second segment, episode 134 of Sold with, am I right with that?
I thought it was 136.
Okay, it's 135.
I said 134.
We'll average it.
Awesome.
So today we're going to talk about 4 myths about buying a property in today's market.
It is one of the things that we constantly get asked about what is happening today. And so we thought, well, what a perfect time to take and talk about some of this stuff. I call them, we could have called this urban legends, but I wasn't thinking about that. So we'll do the myths of what there are. So what's the first myth that's out there right now, Jeff?
The first one that's out there right now is that I can't buy in this market because it's too competitive.
A lot of people, either that or they're exhausted. And I don't know that that's always the best. I don't think that that's always the truth because so many times right now, the buyer or the seller needs more than just the price. Many times we haven't always been the highest priced. But we have clients that have had luxury in taking possession. And I think that we have been able to be really creative with the timetable of possession. And therefore, when that gets kind of factored back in to a seller's costs and expenses, it kind of gets closer to it. Sometimes buyers today are like, I sold my house, I have to get into something. And we have been really lucky to kind of help slow things down with our buyers to the point where they have this extended time. And I think that sellers have really responded to that quite well right now.
They really have. And one of the other things I think that has helped is we're encouraging our buyers to start much earlier in the process now because just because of that, if nothing else, number one, it gives them an opportunity to learn the market really well. Number two, it gives them an opportunity to get their financing in place and get that as fully approved as it can possibly be.
Yes.
It's one of the things we're going to talk about with Jeremy next week.
In depth.
And, one of the other things that I think you've done really well when you're working with buyers is you work really hard to question the listing agent and find out what that seller needs. What are the hot buttons for that seller? And
I would say that, not to toot our own horn, but I think that there are a couple of transactions that you and I have landed for the simple fact that the agents on the other end knew us and knew that we can get things done that were low drama and that when we say something, that's usually the truth.
It really is. And that, one of the things that, we talk about is that the agents that we have to work with, we're going to work with for the rest of our career. Buyers and sellers come and go. Yes, they're all friends. Yes, but we have to work with other agents. And over the, last 15 years that we work together, we have figured out a lot of times who those agents are that we like to work with. And, when they're bringing somebody, whether they're a listing agent or they're bringing the buyer, it makes that transaction that much easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you want to.
And real estate doesn't have to be full of drama.
Well,
People like their real estate transactions to have some drama because they're supposed to, but they don't have to.
No. And the deal is there's so many other moving parts that the egos and the dramas have got to step out of the room. It is too much.
What's number 2?
All websites are the same when you're searching for real estate. That is if you are not on a website that is an IDX direct or doesn't make money by selling leads, you're behind the curve, and in this market, that's going to mean you're going to miss out on many houses.
Yeah, there are uses for all of the websites out there.
100%.
If I'm not going to go into all that detail today, but if you want to know, call me. We can do it in a 5-minute conversation. But there are uses for all of them, but you have to know how to use them and what the benefits of using each one are.
Right. So let's talk not about the ones you shouldn't use, but let's talk about the ones that you should use.
Absolutely. I think our website is really a great way to be able to set up searches, to be able to get information. Ours is directly connected to the MLS, so you have that ability to get data instantly when it goes into MLS. We also set up searches for our clients through what's called the portal into the MLS, and we really like using that because you really you are getting extra information that you might not be getting from other websites.
The interesting thing about the portal is that you'll get coming soons.
Yes.
And no IDX feed gets coming soons. So that's one of the things to note. Another great one would be Realtor.com, Ebby.com. Those are all wonderful. They don't sell the leads.
DavePerryMiller.com.
Dave Perry Miller. So just think about that. In this market, our big bit of information, not all websites are created equal. Use the one that doesn't get money from selling leads. And if you're not sure, contact us. We'll be happy to let you know.
Absolutely.
Great. What's your next one?
Number 3 is I don't have to worry about cyber fraud because I'm small potatoes.
That's the scariest thing
It is.
ever.
Yeah.
So you'll be required to sign a cyber fraud security notice with us. That's really not enough. And we continually talk our clients through these moments when they become vulnerable.
Yes, and that is cyber fraud in the real estate business has become such a problem because there is so much money involved in real estate transactions. Real estate companies have been scammed. A lot of consumers have been scammed. A lot of title companies have been scammed. A lot of the title companies and real estate companies now have protections in place that help consumers to avoid being scammed, but many times consumers kind of take their eye off the ball, and if the minute something looks fishy, that's when you need to make the phone call.
Absolutely.
And it's call us, call the title company. Don't call the phone number that's in the email, but actually, look at the phone number that was in your contract, or what our phone number is, call us.
Because nothing's going to change in the 24 hours before closing where you're going to need to send your wiring instructions to something else. It is not going to happen. Yet when it does, that is a huge red flag that everyone has to pay attention to. And I think what happens is people become, just at that last minute, they're kind of scurrying around. The closing disclosures are coming out. We're trying to figure out how much money you need for closing. And it just gets compressed and it gets overlooked. So we can't emphasize enough throughout the transaction, cyber fraud is real. When that money is gone, it becomes very difficult, and then we have to involve other people in it to help claw it back, if it's possible even at all.
And most title companies now, the only way that they will send you wiring instructions is through a secure portal, meaning that they will send you a link. That link will take you back to a website. You have to create an account on the website, you log in, and then they will provide you with the wiring instructions through that portal. So there are lots of steps that are in place, but don't think just because you're buying your first home or you're dealing with a small down payment or whatever you're working with that you're not a target, because you are.
Yep.
Everyone is.
Everyone is a target for cybersecurity. And then the last one.
The last one is, are we in a real estate bubble?
So it is interesting because I think that you and I talked about this 6 weeks ago and we said we weren't. And I was really kind of like, it just doesn't feel like a bubble because there's so much good financing in place. There's not a lot of no docs. Appraisers are being held accountable. They're a little further away from the transaction. Lots of cash is coming into the market right now. So there's a lot of elements that we thought were in line to make a strong op. But as I continue to read, like through Twitter, the articles that come across from NAR or, the CEO of Redfin might write an article, it seems to be that everybody is talking that this is not a bubble.
And those are all, you're absolutely 100% right. to me, what I'm reading from people that are outside the real estate business is equally as important, because
Correct.
the economists that don't have a dog in the fight, you know, like the Lawrence Yoon, the National
Yep.
Association of Realtors chief economist.
He's wonderful.
You know, he's great. He's very informative, but he's got a dog in the fight.
Correct.
You know, his job is to show the positive side of real estate.
Right.
But it's the other economists that are also saying a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
The one that's funny, there are a few people that have been talking about how we are in a bubble, and they've been talking about being in this bubble for 4 years. And so
That's a big bubble.
and at some point, you know, the real estate market is going to shift. You know, the real estate market goes up and down in 7 to 9 year cycles, and we're on year 11 right now.
At least.
So, you know, there is going to be a shift. What that shift is going to consist of, no one knows.
Right.
So you know, we've I think been incredibly lucky to have been living in an affordable market for so long. And I think, you know, our city has, and, you know, all the neighboring communities have gotten so much better, and it's become such a city that's more on par with larger cities like
Yep.
the Los Angeleses and the San Franciscos and the Seattles. Our housing prices just had to change.
At some point. I think the thing that I will see, or this would be interesting, is that once the inventory catches up to the need, I think that the rate of appreciation will slow down.
Absolutely.
And the rate of absorption, so those two things, I think will stem and will kind of neutralize. But I think as far as like what our values are, I think if you think that you're going to be able to get a house cheaper in 12 months than you can today, I think that would be really difficult.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this has all been exacerbated, you know, because of the pandemic, for one thing. I do believe that I felt like we were beginning to see a slowing of the appreciation, the
True.
rate of appreciation pre-pandemic.
Right.
And then pandemic happened. It caused a lot of people to really want to do something differently, just because they wanted to get out of such
Yep.
congested areas. Then that threw off supply chains, and that, you know, it slowed down the building process. It just kind of injected a little bit more challenge into the market.
So I think I'm going to start calling the pandemic the great disruptor, because I think we can basically look at just about every facet, whether it's waiting tables or trying to buy plywood, something in that portion of the economy has been disrupted.
Yeah,
So
it has. Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of this. I enjoy talking about it. It's, you know, real estate's our life.
that's
So
what everybody wants to talk to us about.
it is. So if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, certainly put them in the comments below, or give us a call. We'd love to chat with you about it.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.